Oh gosh, I'm not looking forward to it. All right.
And good evening. Welcome to Bismarck and the Sanford Sports Complex. And tonight we have got American Legion Baseball here on YouTube as the Valley City Royals take on the Senators of Bismarck in the opening game of the first game in West Region play for Valley City. And a pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to the capital city. Paul McDonald with you here tonight on YouTube. And Valley City coming in 2-4 on the year after dropping a pair of games last night to Garrison and Lemoore. Down in Lemoore for kind of a triangular, losing to Garrison 8-5 and losing to Lemoore by a final of 6-5. Though they did have a little bit of a rally in the seventh inning, but came up a run short. And they come in now at 2-4 on the year, and they've dropped 4 in a row after the opening season win against Jamestown at 13-10. Then they won the first game over Oaks in the Bridge City Classic before dropping the next 2 games. And again, both wins this year have been come-from-behind wins against Jamestown here a couple of weeks ago, and again against Oaks on Friday night. Both were come-from-behind wins, but haven't had that come-from-behind magic here the last couple of games and come in at 2-4. This is the first game of the year for the Bismarck Senators. And so they are playing their first West Region game as well. Cloudy skies when we got here about, 2 hours ago, maybe an hour and 45 minutes ago. After everybody got in the dugout, just about the time that everybody got in the dugout, the heavens opened up, and we had a downpour for, again, maybe about 10, 15 minutes just solid rain. Even came at an angle for a little bit. But, of course, we got this turf field here at Sanford, which is right next door to Bismarck Legacy High School. And, of course, a great facility here. Football field off in the distance. Grass baseball field behind us. Turf softball field as well. And this is where we played last year against the Bismarck Reps in sweeping a doubleheader against the Reps last year. This year, a game with the Senators. Now, this game was originally to be played on Tuesday, but, of course, severe weather was to be coming through the capital city and North Dakota, and so they moved it to tonight. And the regularly scheduled game tonight against Kindred, that game now will be moved to a later date in the summer. We'll find out more about that as we get a little bit closer to that. Now, we haven't decided yet. Coaches need to talk it over and figure things out. We have cloudy skies, maybe another chance of rain here. But again, being on a turf field, it would just be a case if there's lightning, we'll have to stop because obviously with a turf field, it might get a little slick if you get too much of that rain. And so let's hope we get a couple of games in here tonight, and the Royals could use to get back on track here at 2-4 on the year after dropping those 2 games last night in Lemoore. And pitching tonight, James Schwer will be given the ball to start game number 1 of this West Region doubleheader. We'll take a look at our starting lineups here in a moment. Again, this is American Legion Baseball, live from Bismarck on the VCBA streaming YouTube page. Well, McDonald back with you here at Sanford Sports Complex here in Bismarck, where tonight the Royals will be taking on the Bismarck Senators in American Legion Baseball, West Region action. Again, this is the West Region opener for both these teams, and it's a season opener here for Bismarck. Well, let's take a look at our starting lineup. So first for the visitors, the Valley City Royals, they will go like this tonight. Leading off at shortstop would be Trevor Fetch. Fetch is leading off, and at short. Batting second is the catcher, Corbin Powell. Powell batting second and catching. Hitting third at third, Jack Samuelson. Samuelson is at third base, hitting third. In the cleanup spot, Andrew Sikora. Sikora's at first base and batting fourth. Batting fifth in right field is Leighton Hendrickson. Hendrickson is batting fifth in right field. Hitting sixth and pitching, James Schwer. Schwer is pitching and hitting in the sixth spot. Batting seventh in left field, Parker Olsema. Rolsma is hitting seventh and in left field. Hitting eighth, the designated hitter, Adam Sheneko. Sheneko is the DH and batting in the eighth spot, and he will be DHing for the second baseman, Chase Conglin. And in center field batting ninth, Bryson Heck. Heck batting ninth and in center field. Fetch, Powell, Samuelson, Sikora, Hendrickson, Schwer, Rolsma, Sheneko, and Heck. The batting order for head coach Chase Carpenter and the Valley City Royals. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Bismarck Senators. Here's how they will go tonight. Leading off at second base is Tucker Evans. Evans is batting first at second. Batting second and pitching, Hayden Geetson. Geetson is hitting in the number 2 spot and pitching. Hitting third and in left field is Kyle Schloboom. Schloboom is hitting in the number 3 spot and in left field. Hitting fourth at third base, Tristan Schultz. Schultz is in left field or third base, batting fourth. Batting fifth and catching is Bryson Caulfield. Caulfield is batting fifth and catching. Hitting sixth at first base, Levi Burdett. Burdett is batting sixth at first base. Batting seventh in right field, Lucas Farstead. Farstead is batting seventh in right field. Hitting eighth in center field is Sam Nassett. Nassett is hitting eighth and in center field. And batting ninth and the shortstop, Cole Reinhardt. Reinhardt is batting ninth and in center field. Evans, Geetson, Schloboom, Schultz, Caulfield, Burdett, Farstead, Nassett, and Reinhardt. The batting order for the Coach Michael Fagerland, and he is assisted by Eli Thompson. Again, the Royals coach Chase Carpenter, he is assisted by Matt Fetch. So we are moments away from the first pitch with the Royals and the Senators. American Legion Baseball coming away live from Bismarck on YouTube. And welcome back to Bismarck, and we are just about set ready for baseball here tonight. Valley City and the Bismarck Senators, West Region action here tonight on the VCBA streaming YouTube page. And glad you could be with us here on this, again, cloudy, overcast, but I think we're going to be okay weather-wise night here. And again, this is part of a very busy weekend here for the Royals. Again, coming up here tomorrow, they're going to head to Del Rapids, South Dakota, and take on the Phillies. And then they're going to head to Omaha. No, they're not playing in Omaha. It's just more of a team bonding trip. They're going to go and see the Omaha Storm Chasers. That's the AAA Kansas City Royals team. They're going to watch that game on Saturday and then go to the first elimination game of the College World Series. That will be coming up on Sunday. And then they'll be back in action at home next Wednesday night as they will host the Dickinson Volunteers in West Region play. So we're just about ready for baseball here tonight. The Royals and the Senators, live from the Sanford Sports Complex. Again, just adjacent to this sport complex, you have the Dakota Community Bank and Trust Field, which is where Bismarck Legacy plays their games, is Bismarck Legacy High School off in the distance. And then there's a turf softball field back behind us, a grass baseball field, along with the track that goes around the football field. So great complex here, and here right next to Bismarck Legacy High School. So we are just about set ready for baseball, and Trevor Fetch will be stepping in momentarily to lead things off here for Valley City. Take a look at the defensive alignment here for the Senators. They will go like this around the infield. And Levi Burdett will be at first base. Tucker Evans is at second. Tristan Schultz is at third. Cole Reinhardt, is over at short. In the outfield, Kyle Schlobaum is in left field. Sam Nassett is in center. Lucas Farstead is in right field. Behind the plate, Bryson Caulfield. And on the mound is Hayden Geetson. Again, season opener for the Senators here tonight against the Royals. The Royals coming in 2-4 on the year, and again their record at 2-4 still looking to get back on track after dropping their last 4 games after opening up the year with a couple of wins. So we are set for ball as Trevor Fetch will step in. And we're going to be right on time here tonight, or as close to being on time here tonight, as Fetch will step in. Trevor on the air, hitting .211 on the season with no home runs. He's driven in 3. The left-hander, again, just wrapped up his first year playing college baseball down at Wahpeton Science. So glad you could be with us here tonight for Royals baseball right here on YouTube on the VCBA streaming YouTube page. So the right-hander, Gateson, will be working from the windup. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called, 0-1, and we're underway at 5:31. Game time temperature 70 degrees. The wind's out of the west-northwest at 17, gusting up to 27 miles per hour. It is a windy one here tonight, and the wind looks like it's going out towards right field. 0-1 the count here on Fetch. Geetson swings into the wind. Here's the pitch. Curveball down and in for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fetch. And I forgot my binoculars because I forgot the distance markers here are extremely tiny. You almost have to be right in front of them to see how deep they are. But it is about a 375 to straightaway center field, very similar to Charlie Brown. That pitch misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Fetch. Followed by Corbin Powell and Jack Samuelson, top of the first inning. Head coach Chase Carpenter down in the third base coaching box. Matt Fetch down first base way, chatting up the umpires as he usually does. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Inside and goes to the backstop. 3 balls and 1 strike on Fetch. Royals wearing their royal blue tops, gray pant. They'll have the navy blue hats with VC on the front. 3 balls and 1 strike on the left-hander Fetch. And the right-hander Gibson delivers outside, ball 4. So Fetch draws the free pass to get things started here for Valley City. And that'll bring up the catcher Corbin Powell. Powell off to a good start, hitting .429 on the year. No home runs, 4 runs driven in. A couple of those RBIs came yesterday. And he will bat with 1 runner on and nobody out here in the top half of inning number 1. Fetch is yet to be caught stealing. 1 for 1 as a base stealer. And the pitch to Powell. It takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. As a team, the Royals 6 of 8 base stealing. 0-1 here on Powell. Jack Samuelson waiting on deck. And the pitch low and away in the dirt. Nice backhanded stop behind home plate by Caulfield. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. This is going to be, well, this won't be the home ballpark, but this will be home for at least the next 2 years, next 4 years for Corbin Powell coming to UMary to play baseball. There's a half swing, went through it. Might have got a piece of it, but it's nothing. A ball and 2 strikes now. 1-2 the count on Powell. University of Mary, Division II NCAA out of the NSIC. 1-2 here on Corbin. Fetch the runner down at first. Takes a comfortable lead. There he goes. The pitch is a strike three. The throw down to second is going to be wide of the mark. Backed up there by the shortstop. So Fetch will pick up his second stolen base in as many attempts. Powell striking out looking for out number one. It'll bring up Jack Samuelson. Jack hitting .368 on the season with a homer and 4 runs driven in. 3 of his 7 hits have been for extra bases. He had that mammoth home run against Jamestown, hit it into the teeth of the wind in that game on Saturday in Valley City at the Bridge City Classic. I don't think if there was any wind, that ball probably hits the parking lot easily. Here's the pitch to him, and Jack swings and pops it up the right field and deep. It's still back. Now tracking it is Farstead. He'll make the catch. Fetch will tag and make it to third. 2 away, and that'll bring up Andrew Sikora. Sikora leading the team right now with a .538 batting average. No home runs. He does have 1 RBI. All-State honorable mention. Powell and Samuelson were both All-Staters as well in Class B this year for the Highliners. Samuelson second team, Powell first team. There's a strike on the outside corner by Gietz, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Andrew Sikora, one of the 2 lefties on the roster for Valley City, along with Trevor Fetch, who takes his lead off third. The 0-1 pitch. Curve misses inside, and the count now even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sikora up in the box. Fairly straightaway stance. And the 1-1 offering. He swings and grounds one to the left side. Backhanded at short. Nice play. Throw across. Not going to be in time. Infield hit for Sikora. And he'll pick up the RBI, his second of the year. And the Royals, like they have so many times this year, they got off to a good start where they take the lead and score first, leading 1-0. A nice play by Reinhardt. Backhanded in the hole, but a long throw and not in time. And that'll bring up Leighton Hendrickson. Leighton, .316 on the year, no homers. He's got a couple of RBIs. Sikora taking a lead off first. The pitch. Slider gets away from the catcher, Caulfield, and rolls almost to the backstop. But the wild pitch will allow Sikora to move to second. The runner at second base and a 1-ball, no-strike count here on Leighton Hendrickson. Right-handed batter. Gietz in the right-handed pitcher coming to the set. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball wrapped out towards second. Gobbled up there at second base by Evans. Throws to first for the out. 4-3 on the putout, and that'll retire the side. But the Royals get a run on 1 base hit. There are no errors, and they leave one runner stranded. Half an inning. It's Valley City 1 and Bismarck coming up. This is American Legion Baseball live on YouTube on the VCBA streaming channel. I'll take a look at the defensive lineman here in a minute, but first stepping in to lead things off, Evans for the Senators. And takes the first pitch. Time for a ball. One ball, Tucker Evans, followed by Hayden Geetson and Kyle Schlobaum. 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Evans. Again, first game of the season for the Senators. So here's a ground ball to third. Scooped up there by Samuelson. The little flip, a little wide, but nice play by Secor to glove it and get his foot back on the bag. 5-3 on the putout, 1 away. And that'll bring up Hayden Geetson. Let's take a look at that defensive alignment for the Royals. Jack Samuelson is at third. Trevor Petch at short. Chase Coughlin is at second base. Andrew Secor at first. Parker Osama is in left field. Bryson Heck is in center. Leighton Hendrickson is in right. Behind the plate, Corbin Powell. And on the hill is James Schwer, making his second appearance of the year, his second start, 3 innings. He has allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, all 5 runs earned, 5 walks, couple of strikeouts, 11.67 ERA. No wins or losses. There's a shot again to third, and another strong throw for the out. 5-3 on the putout. So quickly 2 up and 2 down here for the Royals. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Kyle Schlobaum. Schwer, the right-hander, he likes to work quickly, and the fastball is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. On the right-handed hitting Schlobaum. T2, straightaway stance. Red tops, white bottoms for the Senators. Slider on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the right-hander delivers low and away, ball 2. 2-1. Lights are already on here. Again, I would say it's just a partly sunny sky or a mostly cloudy, or I don't know how you would phrase it. There's a strike called 2-2. The sun was out, but there are more clouds than sun, so we'll call it mostly cloudy. There's a pitch down and in, and the count runs full on Schlobaum. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tristan Schultz would follow if he can extend the inning. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fly ball right field. Hendrickson on his horse. He'll slide over, reach up, and make the catch right above his head. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across for the Senators in the first. 1 complete. Valley City 1, Bismarck nothing. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. James Schwer will lead things off here for Valley City in the top of the second inning. James, 200 on the season, no homers, couple of RBIs. Schwer, Rolfsma, and Shenenko to face the right-hander Geetson. Here in the top half of the second, Royals leading at 1-0. Now he's working from the set. Worked from the windup in the first inning, and that one, the umpire, I think, was going to bring up the right arm, and then decided, no, it was a little bit low and outside on the slider. 1 ball, no strikes on Schwer. Gateson, the right-hander, delivers a fastball on away. Again, most of these teams, these are the Class A teams in Bismarck. A lot of these are the 16-year-olds, the 16U teams. The Governors, the AA team, also the representatives, Bismarck Americans, the Class B Legion team here in the state. There's a strike on the inside corner. Belt high. 2 balls, 2 strikes on James Schwer. Leading things off here for the Royals in the top of the second inning. Gateson, ball behind his back. Now he brings it into the glove. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Outside, skips in, ball 3, 3-1. Had a walk and a strikeout in the first inning. Gave up a base hit, the RBI single by Sikora. Here is the pitch on the way. Fastball high, ball 4. Second walk issued by Gateson. And that will bring to the plate Parker Rolsema. Parker hitting .250 on the season, no homers, and he has a team high 5 runs driven in. And we'll step in here, and I believe we do have a courtesy runner down there at first. It is Luke Proska, courtesy running, down at first base for Schwer. Here's a toss over. Proska dives back in. Not going to get dirty here with the artificial turf, the orangish skin part of the infield. Or is that more red? I don't know. Here's a check swing. That went off the bat of Rolsema. It's a strike. Nothing going on the count on Parker. Adam Shenenko, he is DHing. He's in the on-deck circle. I see a night off from playing or practicing baseball for Spencer Fetch, so the bat boy is in the house. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and that one flies to the backstop. Proska takes the turn and will hold on. I was like, that one almost slipped out of the hands of Geetsons. It'll be a stolen base for Proska. So he is on at second, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Parker Rolsema. That is the first stolen base of the year for Luke. 7th as a team. They've been caught twice in their first 6 games, now 6+. And here's a line drive into right center field. That's going to be a base hit, and that's going to split the gap. Going to go for extra bases, and it's going to get all the way to the warning track. Rolsema around second. He is going to try for third, and he is going to make it in safely with the triple. The head first slide kind of bounced to third as he went for the slide. And a triple for Parker Rolsema to pick up his team-leading 6th RBI of the year. And the Royals now lead at 2-0. And for Parker, that will be his first extra base hit of the year. And that's going to bring Coach Fagerlund out to have a chat with his battery and infield as Adam Shenenko will be stepping in. Adam DHing. Only had a couple of at-bats so far this year, pinch hitting appearances. Of course, we've talked about this last night. He's very adept in that pinch hitting role last year and had a couple of big pinch hit appearances late in the season and in the state and regional tournament and state tournament. The conversation is over on the hill. 2-0, Royals leading. We're in the top of the second inning. Nobody out. Parker Rolsema, the runner, down at third. And Shenenko, he's batting for Chase Conklin, the second baseman. We'll step in. Gateson, the right-hander, comes to the set and the pitch. Fastball, letter high strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Shenenko. Right-handed batter, straightaway stance. Gateson working from the set. Rolsema takes his lead off third. Here's the 0-1 offering. There's a ground ball right side, fouled on the right field line. Well, the count 0-2 on Shenenko. Bryson Heck hitting the number 9 spot for Coach Carpenter, waiting on deck. Royals leading it here 2-0. We're in the top of the second inning. And Gietzen kicks and delivers. Curveball swung on and missed. Schnenko goes down on strikes. That is strikeout number 2 for Gietzen, 1 away. That'll bring up Bryson Heck. Bryson off to a good start, second on the team, .467 batting average, no homers, 4 runs driven in. A couple of doubles. He, along with Trevor Petch, back for their, if you want to call it, super senior year for Legion Ball, able to play despite out of high school. Pitched low for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. He was on the roster from Mayville State this past spring. Didn't get any playing time, but was on the roster. Of course, went there to play football, kicking for Coach Rocky Larson's Comets. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count now 1 ball, 1 strike on Heck. Vetch waiting on deck. 1 away, 1 in, 1 on. We're in the top of the second. Royals on top 2-0. And Gietzen, the right-hander, comes to the set. And the pitch on the way. There's a strike. Letter high. Hits the outside corner. So Gietzen out in front. A ball and 2 strikes. He gets that breaking pitch over. He's going to be tough to hit tonight. Or if he spots it, not so much gets it over, but spots it. 1-2 the count. Caulfield behind the plate, sets his side, now ready to work. And the long look, the 1-2 pitch. Way outside, and Heck thought about it and holds on. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bryson. Gietzen, he too, like Schwer, working quickly, delivering 2-2. There's a ground ball back up the middle. And that's behind the bag. Gloved there at short, no play. And that's going to be an RBI infield hit for Bryson Heck. He'll pick up his 5th RBI of the year. As Rolsema comes across the score, the Royals take a 3-0 lead. And that will bring up Trevor Fetch. Walked, stole second, and then came in to score. And the RBI single by Sikora. Now Fetch to the plate, and the pitch to him. Hits the outside corner, strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Trevor. Bryson Heck, good speed, takes his lead off of first. And Gietzen throws over. Ooh, had him hesitating, almost leaning a little bit. Well, Bryson was able to get back in time. Bryson has yet to attempt a stolen base this year. Gietzen delivers. The 0-1 pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fetch. 1 out, 1 on, 2 across here for Valley City. Leading at 3-0. We're in the top of the second inning. Runner goes. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Caulfield, and no throw. That'll be stolen base number 1 on the season for Heck. He's now in scoring position. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count on Trevor Fetch. Right-hander, Gietzen, kicks, delivers. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. That'll level it off to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fetch. Gietzen has his sign. And the right-hander sets, checks the runner. Heck down at second. Long look, now delivers. Swing and a miss. Gietzen will pick up his 3rd strikeout. That is out number 2. And now Corbin Powell to the plate. Powell struck out looking his first time up. So Heck down at second, 2 away. And Powell will step in. And Gietzen steps off and looks Heck back to first. Back to second, pardon me. Now the right-hander ready to work. Sets and delivers. Up and in. 1 ball, no strikes on Powell. Well, here at Sanford Sports Complex at the baseball field. The batting cages, one on either side, on the first base side and the third base side. Here's a high pop fly down the right field line and long run, and that'll fall between the right fielder Firestead and the first baseman Burdett. And it's just a long strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, the wind is going to be pushing things, coming across the field from left to right. West-northwest wind, 17, gusting up to 27. And it's pushing things, anything hit down the line, they're going to be pushed foul. And probably hung up a little bit. 1-1 the count here on Powell. Gateson spins to throw, second baseman covering, and heck, I think it was already standing on the bag. So the count rides at a ball and a strike on Corbin Powell. And Gateson delivers. Fastball up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Powell, slightly open stance from the right side. Gateson delivering 2-1. There's a high fly ball. That is hit well and deep to left field. And this is going to go for a whole lot of extra bases as it bounces off the wall. Around second, Powell is on his way to third. And the throw is not going to be in time. It'll be a triple for Corbin Powell. And the Royals now lead it 4-0. Boy, that ball had a charge in it, and it was hit well. So Powell will pick up the triple, his first of the year. And now Jack Samuelson to the plate. And for Powell, that is RBI number 5. 1 behind the team leader, Rosma, who picked up his 6th earlier in the inning. Again, that is the first triple for Powell. Second extra base hit. And the slider misses low and away. Ball 1 to Samuelson, who flew out to right field his first time up. Powell had a double, tried to get a triple late in the game last night, was thrown out at third base. But that time, the throw was not nearly in time. There's a pitch that misses, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. That looked like it to the deepest part of the ballpark in left center field. 2-0 the count here on Jack Samuelson. He had 24 RBI during the high school season, which led the Highliners. There's a line drive, and that's going to skip past the shortstop and into left field. Reinhardt couldn't come up with it cleanly. It was a liner, though, and that's got to be a base hit. That was a line shot off the bat of Samuelson. He'll pick up the RBI as Powell comes across to score. At least I'm going to give him a base hit for it. And that's makes it 5-0. And it brings up Andrew Sikora. For Jack, picking up his 5th RBI of the year. And now Sikora takes it high and wide. Andrew had an RBI in the first. Samuelson, the runner down at first, taking his lead. 5-0 Royals. We're in the top of the second inning. Set by the right-hander. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball out towards second, and that was knocked down by the second baseman on a backhand attempt. Everybody's going to be safe. Oh, boy, you wonder how you're going to... Again, the backhand attempt kind of slid down to his knee to go with that backhand attempt. So that probably will go down as a base hit. Samuelson checks in at second, and now Leighton Hendrickson. He grounded to second his first time up. So runners at first and second, 2 out. 4 runs across here for the Royals. They lead at 5-0. There's a shot into left field off the bat of Hendrickson. That's going to be a base hit. Samuelson around third. He's going to come in to score. Sikora on his way to third. And it'll be an RBI single for Leighton Hendrickson. And the Royals now lead at 6-0. Samuelson scoring. And Sikora makes it to third. And they have batted around. Now brings up James Schwer, who started the inning by walking. Courtesy runner Luke Proska stole second and eventually came around on Rolfsema's triple. So Schwer at the plate. Runners at the corners. Chance to help himself here. There's a 5-run inning so far for Valley City. And there's activity right now in the Bismarck bullpen. That pitch misses low and away for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Schwer. They get the number sequencing from their head coach, Chase Carpenter, and they all check their belt buckle where they have their card with the plays on it. And there's the pitch. Here's a line drive to right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit, and then it scoots away. Well, it doesn't get too far away from the right fielder. He'll kept it in front of him, but it did bounce in front. So Schwer will pick up the RBI single. Sikora comes across to make it 7-0. Hendrickson makes it to third. And we have Luke Proska right back out there at first base, courtesy running, and Parker Olsma with the RBI triple earlier this inning. The 11th man to bat here for Valley City, and 6 of them have scored. And there are 2 out here in the second. The pitch. Here's a ground ball fouled on the third base line. 0-1 to Parker Olsma. It's getting kind of dark here. Boy, there's some dark clouds right above the stadium. We had about a 10-15 minute downpour when we arrived here around 3:30, 3:45. Runner goes, the pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. They were sending Proska, who had a stolen base earlier. 0-2 the count here on Parker Olsma with 2 out, 2 on. Seven hits and 7 runs in the inning for Valley City. Gietzen comes to the set. Here's the pitch. Chopper off the plate. Glove there at third. And Schultz with a throw across for the out. 5-3 on the putout, and that'll retire the side. But the Royals plate 7 on 7 base hits. So no errors. They leave 2. And we are through inning and a half. It's Valley City's 8. And the Senators, nothing. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. Here we go to the home half of the second inning. Leading things off will be the third baseman Tristan Schultz, followed by Bryson Caulfield and Levi Burdett. First pitch fouled at the plate, 0-1 on Schultz. Here's a strike called on the outside corner. So quickly on in front is Schwer. No balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander, wheels and deals. Fastball, strike called on the outside corner. That is strike on number 1 for James. 1 away. That'll bring up the catcher, Bryson Caulfield.
Up next for the Senators, catcher Bryson Caulfield.
Caulfield will step in. Again, if you're watching here on YouTube, you see how dark it is. Even with the lights on, it is extremely dark. Tough to see, I know. And I apologize for that, but that's the way it is when you get those clouds come in. So it's 0-1 here on the first pitch of strike. Caulfield, that one in the dirt, or in the ground, since it is not dirt. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Caulfield. And here's the pitch. Curve, misses high and wide. And if we do have a downpour, I would say it would be a brief one because it's looks not too bad off in the distance. That pitch misses, ball 3-1. It's just right over, and you can see as we look off into the distance, it is raining further away. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And yes, the umpire was going to again bring up the right hand and decided against it. Ball 4, first base runner here for Bismarck. Caulfield will draw the walk. And I'll bring up Levi Burdette, the first baseman. Caulfield not using a courtesy runner. He will stick it, and he's at first as I see umbrellas starting to pop out. Either in anticipation of, or it is. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Schwer working off the first base side of that pitching rubber. Kicks and delivers 0-1. Ground ball right back to him. James has it. Throws a low throw, and it gets past the shortstop and into center field. That's going to be an error on the throw. It'll be a fielder's choice, and E1 on Schwer. He had a double play in his hip pocket, and his throw was low and skipped past Trevor Fetch and into center field. So now runners at first and second, 1 out. Brings up Lucas Farstead, the right fielder. Sometimes those are the toughest throws for a pitcher. You can throw a pinpoint 60 feet 6 inches, but then you have to turn and throw it to second base, and now it starts getting in your head, and you grip the ball weird, and it just sometimes is not a good result. That pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Farstead. Schwer comes to the set, and here's the pitch. Farstead showing bunt, offered at it, missed it, strike 1, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 2 on here in the bottom of the second. Schwer kicks and delivers. Curve, strike 2 on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. James again works quickly once he gets that ball back from Powell. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball. Oh, did he swing at it? He tried to get out of the way. They're going to say he swung at it. That is strike 3. Second strikeout for Schwer. 2 away. That'll bring up the center fielder, Sam Nassett. The first lefty here in the batting order for the Senators.
Next up, center fielder Sam Nassett.
Runners on first and second. And Nassett will step in and the pitch. Takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Schwer, the right-hander, gets his side. And the right-hander delivers a fastball low, over but low, 1-1. Well, they haven't gone route of the armbands and wristbands Legion ball, at least the Royals haven't, as far as pitch and location. Games called either from the dugout, but I think Corbin Powell has carte blanche calling the pitches behind home plate, the veteran catcher. Here's a foul back, 1-2 the count. A ball and 2 strikes. On the left-handed hitting Nassett. Schwer comes to the set. Here's the pitch. Misses wide. And that'll level things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Schwer gets his sign from his catcher. And here comes the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back. Count rides long. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we will not have the Del Rapids game tomorrow night. I'm not going to make the trip with the team. But we'll be back then next Wednesday when the Dickinson Volunteers come to Charlie Brown. Spinning, throwing to second base, and Fetch was a little bit behind the bag. Might have been a closer than it looked. And they tried to pick off at second. Count 2-2 here on Nassett. With 2 out and 2 on. And the pitch. Swinging again, just got a piece of it. So the count continues, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sam Nassett, hitting in the number 8 spot. Cole Reinhardt will round out the batting order for the Senators, and that one is high. The count now runs full at 3-2. So with 2 outs, Caulfield from second and Burdette from first will be off. 3-2 the count. And here comes the 3-2 offering. Low, ball 4. Good at bat there by Nassett. And that is the second walk issued by Schwer, both this inning. And that'll load him up for Cole Reinhardt.
Hitting for the Senators, shortstop Cole Reinhardt.
Now Reinhardt, rounding out the batting order, will step in here with the bases full of teammates. 2 outs, bottom of the second, 7-0 Royals. And the pitch, curve, high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the delivery. Fastball hits the outside corner. Just snuck that in off the black, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Schwer delivers. Strike 2, same spot, maybe a little bit lower, knee high. 1-2. So James a strike away from getting out of this inning, as he was to the last at-bat. And here comes that 1-2 offering. Swinging a foul. That might have glazed off the face mask / helmet of Corbin Powell behind the plate. The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cole Reinhardt. Sports number 5 on the back of his red Senators jersey. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So he strikes out the side, does Schwer. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 3. And we're through 2 complete. It's Valley City 7. The Senators nothing. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. Here we go to the top half of inning number 3. Valley City leading at 7-0. It'll be the 8-9 one-hitters coming up here for the Royals, Shenango, Heck. And then we'll go to the top of the order. We got a new pitcher in now for the Senators, and we'll let you know who that is here momentarily. But first, at the plate, Shenango struck out swinging his first time up. And the pitch on the way. Here's a ground ball hit to the right side, just into right field, a base hit. Shenango will pick up his first hit of the game. That is hit number 9 for Valley City. So Adam with the base hit will bring up Bryson Heck. Heck singled and got an RBI back in that 7-run second inning. Also stole the base and scored a run. So he'll step in here with a runner at first base and nobody out. We're in the top of the third. Royals up 7-0. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. No balls, 1 strike here on Bryson Heck. And the pitch on the way. Fastball. Did it hit him? No, it got away from the catcher. Goes to the backstop. That'll be a pass ball that allows Shenango to go to second. And let's see here. We have Hank Arneson now in pitching here for the Senators. And there's a strike on the. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Bryson Heck. So Hank Arneson, the new pitcher. And the delivery. Curve just misses. Shenango thought about going to third, but no. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. So we'll get you the numbers on Geetson in his first outing of the year. Here in Arneson's swing. Ooh, that one got the home plate umpire right on the footsie. He's got a barking dog right now as he walks it off. 2-2 the count on Bryson Heck. Geetson goes 2 innings, allows 8 hits, 7 runs. All 7 runs are earned. He did walk a couple of batters, and he had 2 strikeouts. There's a strike called. And say anything close now, Bryson, you might want to swing because you hurt the umpire. And that's going to be strike called at a strikeout number 1 for Arneson. 1 away. We go to the top of the order, and Trevor Fetch. Fetch, he has walked and struck out. Actually, 3 strikeouts there. That was the third one by Trevor Fetch was the 3rd strikeout for Geetson. So now with the runner at second base, 1 out, and a 1 ball, no strike count on Fetch, way outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Trevor. Again, walked and scored in the first, struck out swinging in the second. We're in the top half of the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. And a little 2-seam fastball came back across. And a strike called, 2-1. Looked like it was going to head inside and then came back across, hit the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike on Fetch. And a delivery by Arneson. Low for a ball. And again, that is about the 3rd time the home plate umpire's right hand flinched, but he didn't bring it up. So it is 2-2. Or 3-1, pardon me. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one is a strike. Comes across, run it full now, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Trevor Fetch. And the delivery, chopper foul at the plate. So the count rides along at 3-2. On the left hand hitting Trevor Fetch. Sent by Arneson, and the pitch. Reached out, chopped the ground to third. Charging is Schultz, has it. The throw, low throw, dug out there at first base by Nassett. 5-3 on the putout. Out number 2. Shenango gets down to third. And that'll bring up Corbin Powell. Powell struck out looking in the first, had an RBI triple and scored in the second. Another RBI situation here with a run at third base, 2 outs as the Royals bat here in the top of the third inning. Pitch to Powell, fastball inside corner for a strike, let her high, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on the right-handed hitting Corbin Powell. And the pitch on the outside corner, and the count 0-2. Corbin, he and Samuelson, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Each had 5 home runs during the high school season. It's 23 RBI, 1 behind Jack. And that one hits him in the hip. So Powell's going to be hit by a pitch. He'll take first base. And the aforementioned Jack Samuelson will come to the plate. Jack 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. So far for the Royals, all but Hendrickson and Shenenko have scored, though both have hits. And Shenenko is 90 feet away from getting on scoring himself. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Matter of fact, everybody has a hit so far for the Royals except for Trevor Fetch, but he reached on a walk and scored. Here goes Powell. The pitch is swung on, line drive, base hit into right field. So Shenenko will score. Powell will go on over to third base. He was off with the pitch. So he will go to third. It's an RBI single by Samuelson. And Jack picking up his 6th RBI of the year, 2nd of the game. Now tied with Parker Olsema for the team leadership in RBI. And now Sikora, he is 2 for 2 with a run scored, and he himself has an RBI. 9-0 Royals. Actually, it is 8-0. That was got 6 runs that last half inning. I had 7, but they did have 6. There's a strike called to Sikora. So it is now 8-0. Here's a ground ball right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Powell will score. Samuelson will check in at second. Powell comes in to make it 9-0 here in the top of the third. And now Leighton Hendrickson, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Right-hander comes to the set. Here's the pitch. Bounces in. That's going to roll to the backstop. Everybody's going to move up 90. Samuelson will go to third. Sikora will move to second on the wild pitch by Arneson. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for the Royals. All this happening with 2 outs. The RBI single by Samuelson, the RBI single by Sikora. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Leighton. Where's number 12 on the back of his royal blue or Columbia blue jersey? And that ball low and skips away from Caulfield, the catcher, but not too far away. And everybody stays put, and it's a 3-ball, no-strike count. Number 12, the number you'll see him wear as well this fall for the Highliner football team. Well, at least he wore it last year, assuming he'd stick with it. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Taken all the way, strike called, and it's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Leighton. Arneson, Hank, the right-hander, kicks, delivers 3-1. Swing and a chop foul at the plate. So the count continues now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Couple of runs across. Royals leading at 9-0. And here comes that 3-2 pitch. Another foul at the plate. Hendrickson battling here. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the right-hand hitting right fielder. And Arneson delivers. Slow curve, misses wide, ball 4. Good at-bat there for Leighton. First walk issued by Arneson. That loads him up for James Schwer. Big-time chance to help his own cause here. Schwer has walked and singled. That single brought in a run in the second inning. Both those at-bats happened in the second, and now he's going to take one in the back. That'll be a painful RBI. So he will pick up the RBI, his second of the game. Hendrickson goes to second. Sikora moves to third. Samuelson comes in to make it 10-0 Royals. And Proska now running at first. As they bat it around, Rolson, the number 9 man to hit this inning, will step to the plate with the bases juiced and 2 away. Here's the pitch. It's a high pop-up. Infield, second baseman Evans back, and just before he gets to the outfield grass, makes the catch. And that will retire the side, but the Royals plate 3. 1, 2, 3 base hits. No errors, and they leave the bases loaded. 10-0 Royals as we head to the bottom of the third. As we head to the bottom of the third, top of the order coming up, Tucker Evans will lead things off. And he'll be followed by Hank Arneson and then Kyle Schlobaum. Schwer now stake to a 10-run lead. That pitch misses inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Having the big lead, I wonder, I was never a pitcher. No, never claimed to be a pitcher. I was an infielder. But you ask a pitcher, what's tougher? Pitching with a huge lead where now you're just asked to throw strikes and get your team back in the dugout? Or a nail biter where every pitch has a major, major importance? There's a strike call. They're going to call it a swinging strike, 1 and 2. Well, I have to ask Coach Carpenter. Of course, he was a pitcher in his day with the Highliners, and I think for the Vikings as well. After his basketball career wrapped up, there's a strike called, and another looking strikeout. That is strikeout number 4 for Schwer, and 3 have been looking. That'll bring up Hank Arneson, the pitcher. Geetson grounded out in his only at-bat. And now Arneson to the plate. And a fastball pop-up, foul territory right side. And out of play. We talked about the downpour that we had here when we first got here. It didn't take long after the sun came out with the wind, and everything got bone dry. You couldn't tell that we had a deluge for about 15 minutes. Fastball up and in on Arneson. 1 ball, 1 strike on the right-handed hitting pitcher. Bullpen active again for the Senators. The 1-1 pitch, curve, letter high strike, 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And James Schwer delivers. Strike called on the outside corner. Got him looking. 5 strikeouts for Schwer. 4 have been looking. And that'll bring up Kyle Schlobaum. Schlobaum flew out to right field his first time up. So a good start to the third inning here after His team got him a bunch of runs. Now he's coming in and throwing strikes. Curve misses wide. 1 ball, no strikes on Schlobaum. I spoke too soon. But he's been around the strike zone most of the night. And that one at the knees for a strike. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kyle Schlobaum. Here's the delivery. He swings and misses. Kind of a half swing, but went through it. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schwer trying to strike out the side. And the pitch. And a grounder right back to James. He fell down, slipped on the mound, throws to first. He recovered nicely. 1-3 on the putout. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing across for the Senators. 3 complete. The Royals leading at 10-0. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. Here we go to the top half of the 4th inning. Royals leading at 10-0. It'll be Adam Shenenko leading things off. Shenenko Heck in the top of the order, and he'll take one in the hip. So Adam Shenenko is hit by a pitch. Second hit batter by Arneson. Shenenko was 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 3rd. Now Bryson Heck. Bryson singled in a run, scored in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 3rd. Second inning here of relief work for Hank Arneson. To mention the bullpen was active, still is for the Senators. And that one in the dirt. That'll go into the backstop. Wild pitch moves Shenenko to 2nd. It just sounds better if I say in the dirt instead of in the ground-up tires. So Shenenko is in scoring position on a 1 ball, no strike count on Bryson Heck. Here's the pitch. Swings and fouls it up and over the backstop and onto the sidewalk behind the ballpark here. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Bryson. Set by the right-hander Arneson, delivers. Ground ball back up the middle, and that is going to get nice backhand play at second base, but it'll be a base hit. Great play there by the second baseman Evans, but no chance of getting the speedy Heck. That'll be a base hit. Shenenko moves to 3rd. That is hit number 12 for Valley City. Far and away there. I think this is their most hits this season. Now Trevor Fetch, he is walked, struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2 with a run scored. And the pitch to him takes a strike, belt high. Or did the home plate umpire call it high? I think we're all confused up here in the press box. I think he called it high. Ball 1. Look, they brought that right arm up, but saying the pitch was high, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes in the delivery. He swings and lofts one into left field. Coming in is Schlobaum, but it's going to drop in just out of the reach of the third baseman. Shenenko will score, and that'll be a looping single by Fetch. So he gets into the hit parade and drives in a run. Shenenko will come across to make it 11-0. Down to second base goes Heck. And now Corbin Powell to the plate. That was just a little flare out to short left field. Third baseman Schultz gave it an effort. Schlobaum also gave it an effort, but it dropped just off the glove of Schultz. So now runners at first and second. Nobody out here for the Royals. The pitch, and Powell will take a strike call. 0-1. No balls, one strike. Corbin. He struck out, tripled, hit by a pitch, scored a couple runs, has an RBI, and that one misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So officially 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. Arneson delivers. Here's a high fly ball hit to center field. Can of corn for Nassett. Now comes in a few steps. He'll make the catch. Bluffing is Bryson Heck. 1 away. Runner still at first and second for Jack Samuelson. Jack is flied out, singled twice, 2 for 3, couple of RBIs, couple of runs scored. And now tied with Parker Rolsema with 6 RBIs to lead the team. And we'll step in here with runners at first and second, 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. Royals up 11-0 pitch. Ground ball fouled on the third base line. I'm not going to give Coach Carpenter an error because he was using his bare hand, not his glove hand, so he just knocked it down. Because his bare hand, or his throwing hand that he normally use, well, he uses his glove hand actually, yes, his left side. That one misses low and away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jack. And that wind is taking balls towards right field, kind of going left to right, looking at the flag over the left field fence. There's a fastball, little flare out towards second, and caught by the second baseman. Nice diving catch, throw back to first, not in time. Nice play by Evans, diving catch on that little flare out towards second. And then a quick throw to first, but Fetch was able to get back, so 2 away. That'll bring up Andy Sikora. Andrew is 3 for 3 with a run scored. And he also has a couple of RBI. Gives him 3 for the year now. Top hitter on this Royals team coming into play tonight. He swings at the first pitch, lines it into left center field. Over is the left fielder on the run and make the catcher Schlobaum to retire the side. But the Royals get 1 more run on a couple of hits. They leave 2. 11-0 Royals. We head to the bottom of the 4th. And now the Senators will come to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be the middle part of the order. Schultz, Caulfield, and Burdette to face James Schwer, the right-hander. Delivers, low and away. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Schultz has struck out looking his first time up. There's a strike called, 1-1. James, 5 strikeouts, and all 5 have come in the last 2 innings. 4 of them have been looking. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, that hit him. Oh, it didn't. It missed him. Oh, how did it miss him? That was inside. And it did somehow miss Schultz. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 pitch misses low and away. Ball 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike on Schultz. And Schwer delivers way outside, ball 4. That is the 3rd walk issued by James, again with 5 strikeouts. And now Bryson Caulfield. Caulfield walked in the first, was able to reach base when Burnett hit one back to the mound, but the throw by Schwer went into center field. Here the runner goes. Here's a chopper to third. Charging as Samuelson has it from the mound. Throws. Nice little hop, skip, jump toss there by Jack Samuelson. 5-3 on the put out, 1 away. Schwer had to kneel to get out of the way as Jack was coming right at the pitcher's mound. 1 away with the runner at second base now for Schultz. That'll bring up Levi Burdett. Burdett again hit that chopper back to Schwer, and they tried to start the double play, but his throw to second was low and went into center field. Runner down at second base is Schultz, and the pitch. Burdett takes it high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And a right-hander, Schwer working off the first base side of that pitching rubber. There's a swing and a foul. That one might have gone off the foot, and it did, a Burdett. So he's going to walk off that barking dog. 1 ball, 1 strike. Senators with their navy blue crown, red bill, the white B on the front. The red tops, white pants, white numerals and lettering. As the sun again emerges here in Bismarck. Clouds off to the distance. Here's the pitch on the way, and there's a strike call. Snap that off-speed pitch across the letters, 1-2. I don't think we're completely safe yet for rain. It looks like some more clouds off in the distance. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses. No, it hit him. Well, they're calling a dead ball. The umpire's got his hands up. Maybe time was called, so there was no pitch. I'm going to guess no pitch. Time was called, so 1-2 the count. And the right-hander, Schwer, kicks and delivers. Swung on. There's a little liner in the left center field. There's going to be the first base hit for the Senators. Quickly back in. Rolsma gets it to the infield. So a little soft liner off the bat of Burdett. Hit number 1 for Bismarck. Down to third base goes Schultz. That'll bring up Lucas Farstead, the right fielder. Corbin Powell, the catcher, goes out in front of the home plate area, gives out the defensive assignment. A Farstead batting here with runners at the corners. And the throw to third, and again, the new rule actually came into play about 3-4 years ago. You cannot fake to third and then go to first. That is considered a balk. If you're going to go to third, you've got to throw it that way. That, of course, follows Major League rules. Here's a ground ball to third base. Samuelson charges, has it. Strong throw across the diamond for the out. 5-3 on the putout, but Farshad will pick up an RBI as Schultz comes in to make it 11-1. Down to second base goes Burdett. And to bring up the center fielder, Sam Nassett. He walked back in the second inning. The Royals, 13 hits. They've out-hit Bismarck 13-1. Leading here 11-1 in the bottom of the fourth. And the pitch. Nassett takes a strike call in the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Glad you could be with us here tonight, joining us for Valley City American Legion Royals baseball here on YouTube on the VCBA streaming page. There's a swing and a foul back. And remember, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to that page. And follow along as we'll try to get most of our West Region games we'll have here on YouTube. So you can follow the Royals throughout the year. That one misses wide for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the left end, hitting Sam Nassett. Led by Burdett, takes his lead off second, and the pitch. And a grounder foul down the third base line. Fagerlund, the head coach, tried to make a play, but that was coming hot and heavy. I think he's getting a little ribbing from the dugout. So the count stays the ball and 2 strikes to Nassett. With 2 out, 1 on, 1 in. 11-1 Royals, bottom of the 4th. And a right-hander sets, kicks, delivers. Little flare down the left field line. Diving catch by Samuelson in foul territory. Dun-dun-dun. Nice play there by Samuelson. That is a highlight reel film play. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left. We are through 4, 11-1 Royals on the VCBA streaming YouTube page. Here we go to the top half of inning number 5. Valley City up 11-1. And for the Royals, they'll have Leighton Hendrickson, James Schwer, and Parker Olsma to bat here. As Arneson beginning his 3rd inning of relief work here for the Senators. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Leighton is flied to right. Grounded out, and a single and a walk. He plays right field. There's a swing and a miss. And they count a ball. No balls, 2 strikes here on Leighton. And the right-hander, Arneson delivers. Ground ball wrapped out towards short. Gobbling it up. There at short is Reinhardt. The throw across for the out. 6-3 on the put out, 1 away.
Up next, third baseman.
And that'll bring up the pitcher, James Schwer. James is walked, singled, hit by a pitch. Has a couple of RBI. That hit by pitch with the bases loaded in the 3rd. Took it right in the small of the back. And Arneson delivers the curve for a strike of the knees, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. On the right-handed hitting James Schwer. Here's the pitch. That curve is low and away, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the right hand hitting James Schwer. And the pitch. Fastball misses inside. Count 2-1. James and Brody Mueller, a couple of the Barnes County North students that play their baseball here in Valley City. Fastball high, ball 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. I know one time, years back, Maple Valley also was part of this Legion conglomerate. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Misses inside, ball 4. So Schwer draws the free pass. And that is the second time he has walked. That'll bring Luke Proska out of the dugout, and he will courtesy run. Second walk issued by Arneson. He's also hit a couple of batters. And now Parker Olsma. RBI triple in the 2nd, then grounded out and popped out. And that pitch low and went through the legs of the catcher, Caulfield, but not too far behind home plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Rosema's first extra base hit of the year. And the RBI was his 6th and gave him the team leadership briefly. Jack Samuelson has tied him now. Here's a pop foul, not a play. And it hits the light post. No count, 1 ball, 1 strike on Parker. And the right-hander delivers. There's a ground ball wrapped out towards short. Reinhardt has it on the run. The throw across and skips away, and that's going to be an error. That's going to move the courtesy runner Praska to third base. And down to second base goes Rosema. So that'll be an error on the shortstop Reinhardt. And it brings up the designated hitter Adam Shenenko. Adam struck out, singled and scored. Hit by a pitch and scored. So 1 for 2. Couple of runs scored. So he'll step in with 2 runners in scoring position. 1 out here in the 5th. There's a shot foul behind first base coach Matt Betch. Down the right field line. No balls and 1 strike. And right-hander Arneson delivers. Down and in, ball 2. Or ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both bullpens are quiet right now as we're in the top of the 5th inning. Royals leading it 11-1. And the pitch. There's a ground ball again to Reinhardt. It's short. Has it. Here's the throw across. Slow throw, but dug out there at first base by Burdett. 6-3 on the putout of Shenenko for out number 2. Does pick up an RBI, his first of the year. Praska comes across the score to make it 12-1. Down to third base goes Rosema. Now Bryson Heck to the plate. Arneson delivering to Heck. He chops one to the left side. Charging it to third baseman. The throw by Schultz in time for the out. 5-3 on the putout. That'll retire the side. But the Royals had a run on no hits, so it was an error, and they leave 1. We are through 4.5. It is 12-1 Valley City. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. And a 9-1-2 hitters coming up here for Bismarck to face James Schwer in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Cole Reinhardt swings at the first offering on the slider, missed it, 0-1. Reinhardt, Evans, and Arneson. Senators need to score 2 to keep the game going. Here's a chopper to the left side, gloved by the third baseman on the run. Samuelson with the easy throw, 5-3 on the putout, 1 away. Jack's been busy down there at third, 1-2. 3, 4 assists tonight for Jack. Now I'll go to the top of the order, and Tucker Evans, he grounded to third, speaking of the third baseman. Also struck out looking. Obviously, we'll have still probably about a 15-minute break between the 2 games, being that the artificial turf field, they don't have to drag it unless they have a roller or something that comes out and maybe clears it off. There's a strike called on Tucker Evans. And then we'll be back with the second game of our doubleheader. That curve misses for a ball, 1-1. These are the first two games of the West Region season for both these teams. First games of the year for Bismarck. Valley City coming in with 6 games under their belt already. And that pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Tucker Evans. And the pitch. And that fouls it back. And we will not really we'll do a recap during the first, during game 2. As we, after this game is over, we'll just mute the mic and stay compliant with our carrier. And that pitch is fouled back. But then we'll recap this first game when we're back doing action in game 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and away for a ball. Full count now, 3-2 on Evans. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th. Royals leading at 12-1. And they have out-hit the Senators. There is a pitch misses for a ball. That is walk number 4 for Schwer. And now it'll bring up Hank Arneson, the pitcher. He is struck out looking. 13-1, the hits here. Royals have yet to commit an error. 1 error has gone against Bismarck. Actually, I'm sorry that they do have 1 error. There's a strike called, 0-1 on that errant throw by Schwer back in the second inning, but it did not hurt him. No runs scored. 0-1 here on Arneson. And the pitch, chopper right side. First baseman Sikora gloves it. Looks at second, nothing there. Underhand flip to Schwer covering first. Little PIP, 3-1 on the putout. That is out number 2. Down to second base goes Evans. And now Kyle Schloboom. Schloboom is flied to right and bounced back to the pitcher. So Schloboom will step in with 2 outs now in the runner scoring position. Down at second base in the pitch. He swings and fouls it up and over the backstop. Field. I think some soccer nets over there as well. Actually, soccer net over the batting cages. And Schwer quickly out in front. No balls and 2 strikes on Schloboom. Runner at second base, Evans. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Royals leading at 12-1. And the pitch. Fastball high, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitting Kyle Schloboom. Schwer checks the runner and delivers. Curve misses inside. That'll even it up 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Schloboom. James kicks, delivers right over the top of his head, and that runs the count full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, Evans takes his lead. Now kind of goes back towards second. 3-2 pitch. Swung on a pop-up behind home plate. And nice catch by Powell behind home plate, and that'll retire the side and end game 1. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1. You're final in game 1. Valley City wins it 12-1. And we'll be back and recap this first game during our second game. This is Legion Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back to Sanford Sports Complex as we get ready for game number 2. And the Royals winning game 1, 12-1 in 5 innings. We'll take a look at the defensive alignment here for the Senators as Trevor Fetch steps in. He'll face the left-hander Sam Nassett. And he will pitch here in game number 2. And the right-hander into the line in the first pitch of the game. Misses low and away for a ball. So 7:22 our start time. 69 degrees our game time temperature. Winds again out of the west-northwest. 18 gusting to 32. That's coming across the field, taking things out towards right field. 1-0 pitch misses low and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Fetch. Against the left-hander Sam Nassett, and the delivery takes a strike call, 2-1. Around the infield at third base, they have Tristan Schultz is at third. At short is Hank Arneson. Over at second base is Will Maxson. There's strike 2 call, 2-2. The count here on Fetch. Again, Maxson at second. Over at first base is Levi Burdette. Landon Gorgon is in left field. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball left side. Charge, shortstop, has it. Arneson throw, in time. Bang, bang play at first, but Arneson gets Fetch. 6-3 on the putout, 1 away. And it brings up Corbin Powell. In the outfield from left to right, again, Gorgon's in left field. Kyle Schlobaum is in center. And over in right field, Lucas Barstead. Behind the plate, game 1 starter Hayden Gietzen. And Sam Nassett is pitching here in game number 2. 1 away, nobody on for Powell. And Corbin, first pitch in the dirt per ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Corbin in game 1. 1 for 3, couple of runs scored. RBI triple in the second inning. Fetch in that first game was 1 for 3 with a run scored and had an RBI himself. The Royals had 12 hits. That one just misses outside. And the count on Powell, now 2 balls and no strikes on Corbin. Nassett off the third base side of the pitching rubber. There's a fastball that are high for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Powell with Jack Samuelson waiting on deck. There's a 2-1 pitch. Low, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Powell, right-handed batter, straightaway stance. That triple went to the deepest part of the ballpark in left center field. And there's a strike. I think it it. Runs over, underhand flip to first for the out. 1-3 on the put out for out number 2. And now Jack Samuelson to the plate. Jack 2 for 4 in game 1. Couple of runs scored, couple of RBI. Now tied with Parker Rosemo with 6 ribbies to lead the team here during the Legion season. Led the team with 24 during the high school season. And the Royals went 10-9, losing in the Class B Region 3 tournament in their first year in Class B. The pitch to Jack. He swings, and it's a high pop-up center field. Coming in, Schlobaum. He'll make the catch and beat him to center to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing across for the Royals. Half inning, Royals nothing. Bismarck coming up. Here we go to the home half of the first inning, and we'll take a look at the batting order for the Senators here in Game 2, and they'll face Bryson Heck. It'll be Hank Arneson leading off at short. Hayden Geetson is batting second, catching. Kyle Schlobaum is hitting third out in center field. Tristan Schultz is batting fourth at third base. Levi Burdett is at first base batting fifth. Kellen Barsness is DHing, hitting sixth. He's batting for the pitcher, Sam Nassett. Batting seventh is Will Maxson at second base. Hitting eighth is Lennon Gorgon. And there's a little pop left side. Third baseman Samuelson with the easy catch for out number one away. Again, Gorgon is hitting in the number 8 spot in left field, and Lucas Barstead is batting ninth in right field. Now Hayden Geetson. Geetson had one at-bat in that first game, grounded out to third. He was the starting pitcher, lasted 2 innings. And he swings at the pitch, and that one, I think, foul tipped into the mask of the home plate umpire. No balls and 1 strike. Geetson defensively for the Royals. Jack Samuelson is at third. Trevor Fetch is at short. Chase Conklin is over at second base. Andrew Sikora is over at first in the outfield. And left field, Parker Rolsema. Leighton Hendrickson is in center, and Luke Proska is in right. Behind the plate, Corbin Powell. There's a strike call on Geetson, 0-2. And Bryson Heck is pitching here in game number 2. And the right-hander delivers a fastball, swing, and a foul. And the count stays, no balls and 2 strikes. And taking a look at what Bryson has done this year here in the Legion season. There's a grounder left side, picked up by a Heck, and he'll take it himself. A slow roller, and Bryson took it himself. So there's quickly 2 away. Bryson, this is his second appearance. And he had 4 innings in his first appearance. He allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, walked 4, struck out 4, picked up the win. A 5.25 earned run average in relief in that victory against Jamestown. And now Schlobaum will step in. He takes the first pitch for a ball, and a pitch on the way, misses upstairs for a ball. In game 1, Kyle Schlobaum was 0 for 3. Heck, he too likes to work quickly. Fastball up and in. So he is behind on the count. 3 balls and no strikes on Schlobaum with 2 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first inning, game 2. Here's the pitch. That misses outside, so Schlobaum draws the free pass. First walk issued by Heck. That'll bring up Tristan Schultz, the third baseman. 0 for 1 in game 1. Scored the lone run for the Senators. That was their first game of the year, so they are 0-1 in the league and 0-1 overall. Valley City with that win. Now 3-4 in overall 1-0 league play. Game 1, less than 90 minutes, hour and 28 minutes for that 5 innings. The pitch on the way here, and Schultz takes a strike. Letter high, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Schwer, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, walked 4, struck out 5 to pick up the win. There's the set by Bryson Heck. Runner leads off first. The pitch. Right back up the middle and into center field. A base hit. So Schultz grounds one right up the middle into center field. Schlobaum checks in at second. That'll bring up the first baseman, Levi Burdett. Burdett in game 1, 1 for 2. He had the lone hit. And that came in the 4th, so it took 3 1/3 innings for them to get their first hit in game 1. Took them 2/3 of an inning to get their first hit in game 2. And the pitch. Burdett swings, ground ball out towards second. Coughlin has it, steps on the bag himself, takes care of the runner, 4 unassisted, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. They have no errors. They leave 2, 1 complete. Won't score, Valley City and Bismarck. Andrew Sikora will lead things off here for Valley City as they bat in the top of the second inning. And it'll be Sikora, Hendrickson, and Schwer to face the left-hander, Sam Nassett. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 on Andrew. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one hit him. So Sikora's hit by a pitch. First base runner for Valley City, game 1. Andrew was 3 for 4. Had a couple of RBIs and a run scored. So he's on. It'll bring up Leighton Hendrickson. Leighton 1 for 3 in game 1 with an RBI single. As everybody had at least one hit in game 1. 12 hits total for Valley, or 13 hits total. But all 9 starters had at least one. Here's a fly ball to center field, short center, and Schlobaum's going to take it on the bounce. So a little looping fly ball that drops in for a base hit in front of the center fielder. Well, Royals with runners at first and second will bring up James Schwer, DHing here in game 2. Game 1, he reached all 4 times. Was officially 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. And then Luke Proska scored the 2 runs as a courtesy runner. Luke in the starting lineup here in this one, but James as DH will be running for himself. And there's a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike on James. Right-handed batter. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. We're in the top of the second. No score. Left-hander Nassett coming from the set. And here's the pitch. Down and in for a ball. Okay, did he call that a strike? He brought the right hand up. I think he is going to call it a strike, so it's 0-2. He did bring up the right hand with 2 fingers, so it'll be 0-2 the count here on Schwer. Scoreboard's at 1-1, but I think it's 0-2. We'll see after this pitch. And the pitch on the way, right over the top of his helmet, buzzes the tower, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the right hand hitting Schwer. Runner off second. That's Sikora. Hendrickson off of first. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses outside. Nice block there behind the plate by Geetson. And the count now even on Schwer. 2 balls and 2 strikes. James, straightaway stance. And the pitch. Here's a ground ball wrapped out towards short. 6-4. And not in time. The throw might have pulled him off the base. They got the force flipped by Arneson, so they get Hendrickson 6-4 for the first out. Sikora goes to third. Schwer reaches first. So runners at the corners, 1 away for Parker Rolfsema. Parker 1 for 4 in game 1, had an RBI triple, scored a run. That RBI triple gave him 6 RBIs, which at the time was team leader. He's now tied with Jack Samuelson with 6. And the pitch here. Here's a fly ball hit into left field, and it's dropping, and it's going to drop in front of the left fielder for a base hit as Gorgon let it fall in. So it'll be a base hit, RBI, and Rolfsema takes over the team leadership again now with his 7th RBI. Sikora comes across to score. Schwer goes down to second. That'll bring up Luke Proska. Proska, again, just a courtesy runner in game 1, scored a couple of runs and had a stolen base. He was active on the bases, running for Schwer. Still bat here with runners at first and second, still only 1 out. Royals leading at 1-0. RBI number 7 of the season for Rolfsema. And that pitch misses inside. Ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes on Luke. One and 0 the count on the right-hand hitting right fielder. Nassett, the lefty, comes to the set. Here's the pitch. And that one just misses outside. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes on Luke with Bryson Heck, the starting pitcher, waiting on deck, rounding out the batting order for Coach Carpenter. Chased down in the third base box. Matt Betch, first base coach. Here's a swing and a miss by Proska, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Luke Proska. Batting here with 2 men on, 1 out. We're in the top of the second inning. Royals leading it 1-0. And Nassett delivers outside. And a count now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Proska. Coming in hitting 182 on the season. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count now full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Schwer at third. Rolsum at first with 1 away. They probably keep him stationary for the time being. Proska does have 4 RBI coming into this at-bat. And the pitch. And that one misses low, ball 4. So good at-bat there by Luke. Pits up the walk. First walk issued by Nassett, and that loads him up for Bryson Heck. So a big opportunity here for Heck to help himself out. Bryson in game 1, 2 for 4. Scored a run, had an RBI. Nassett now working from the windup, delivers low, ball 1. Nice block there by Geetson behind the plate. One ball, no strike on Bryson. And the lefty delivers. And that one comes upstairs. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Coach Vagerlin used 2 pitchers in the first game. Of course, only needed 5 innings out of each. Here's out of the 2 of them. That pitch misses low for a ball. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. And his doubleheader was originally scheduled for Tuesday night. Of course, the severe weather that was forecasted. And, of course, we did get some nasty weather in Valley City with high winds and rain and thunder and lightning. There's a strike to Heck, makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. So those games were postponed in the morning and moved to tonight. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Here's a high pop fly right field. Coming in. And the right fielder makes the catch. Schwer tags, and he will score as Farstead makes the play. RBI for Heck on the sac fly. It's now 2-0 Royals. Rolsmo stays at second. Proska stays at first. We go to the top of the order and Trevor Fetch. The game tonight, they were supposed to play a doubleheader with the Kindred B team. And that will be scheduled later on in the summer. But not finding a lot of open dates because the Royals are going to be busy. There's a shot to right field again. Farstead looking right into that sun, drifts over, makes a catch, and that'll retire the side. But the Royals get 2 runs on a couple of hits, and they leave 2 at the end of an inning and a half. 2-0 Royals here in Bismarck. Kellen Barstos will lead things off here for the Senators in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Royals. Fastball in for a strike at the knees, 0-1 on Barsness. He did not play in game one. Neither he nor the next two batters, Maxon or Gorgon, did play in game one. Fastball swung on and missed, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. On the right-hand hitting Kellen Barsness. And the pitch by Hex, outside corner, strike 3 called. Got him looking. First strikeout for Bryson, 1 away. And that'll bring up Will Maxon. And Maxon also not playing in game one. He'll take the first pitch low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Also the on-deck batter, Landon goes again. And there's a swing and a foul. Nothing against Coach Fagerlin, but his penmanship, we were all trying to figure out what the last name was for Landon. And it looked like an E, but it's a Z. There's a strike called. A ball and 2 strikes on Maxon. 1 out, nobody on. Will playing at second base here in game 2, and the pitch. And that one a little bit low. Count now even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Heck delivers. Swing and a miss. A nasty curve. Gets his second strikeout. That's out number 2. And that will bring up the left fielder. Landon goes again. Goes again will step in. Pitch misses for a ball. It's G-O-Z, because I just looked on Game Changer. It's goes again, I'm going to guess. A-O-Z-E-G-E-N. That third letter is a G. It's a Z. Here's a single to center field. Goes again. Lines one to center, so goes again with the base hit. Hit number 2 for the Senators. And that'll bring up Lucas Farstead, playing in right field. Farstead 0 for 2 in game 1. And the pitch. Curve. In for a strike at the letters. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike on Lucas Farstead. Fastball swung on and chopped out in front of the plate, but it was a foul ball. So Farstead behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 out, runner at first, bottom of the second, 2-0 Royals. Game 2 of this West Region doubleheader. Royals won game 1, 12-1 in 5 innings. And the pitch. Swung on, pop up. Short center. Coming in is the center fielder Hendrickson. Layton makes a catch, and that'll retire the side. For the Senators, no runs, a hit, no errors. They lead 1, 2-0 Royals after 2 from Bismarck. Here we go to the top half of the third inning. Valley City will have Powell, Samuelson, and Sikora to face the left-hander Sam Nassett. And Powell bounced back to Nassett back in the first inning. Here's a ground ball left side into left field, a base hit. So Corbin with the single to left, hit number 3 for the Royals. And now the ball gets away, and he's going to get to second. Here's the throw by the first baseman, and that got away, but he'll be backed up. Well, the throw to the infield got away, and that's going to be an error on the throw to allow Powell to hustle to second base. So he's in scoring position. And now Jack Samuelson in an RBI situation. He flew out to center field his first time up. I was writing it down on the score sheet, and I looked up and saw Powell hightailing it to second, saw the ball rolling towards him, and first baseman Burdett picked it up, and his throw was low and got away from the second baseman, but back him up with shortstop Arneson, or Powell probably would have got to third. Here's the pitch to Samuelson, swing and a miss, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike on Jack. Heading to, I believe it's either Central Iowa. I believe that's the name of the community college down in Iowa that he is going to be playing baseball at next year. And Nassett, kick, delivers. Down and in, ball scoots away from the catcher, Geetson. So the wild pitch will get Powell over to third. So the runner at third base and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Samuelson. And the Royals will be in Del Rapids, South Dakota to take on the Phils tomorrow night. We will not have that game for you here on YouTube. And the left-hander Nassett delivers. Here's a high pop-up. Short left. Arneson, the shortstop, out, and he'll make the catch. And then gets the throw back in. Kind of watch the throw. Is up the line. Powell thought about it, but that is out number 1. It'll bring up Andrew Sikora. Andrews hit by a pitch. Came in to score in the second inning. Scored on Rolsama's RBI base hit, which gave him the team lead again in RBI. Now it's 7, 1 ahead of Samuelson. And that pitch is in at the knees for a strike on Sikora, 0-1. Andrew was 3 for 4 in game 1. Left-handed batter. And Nassett, the lefty, delivers. There's a line drive into right field. Barstead is there and makes the catch. Powell thought about it, but that was on the line at Barstead in right field. So Corbin will stay put. 2 away. And it'll be up to Leighton Hendrickson to get the runner in from third. He singled his first time up. So he will get a chance here and try to get Powell in from third with 2 out here in the top of the third. And Nassett delivers. Swinging a pop-up foul territory. That's going to go and drift out of play. Count, no balls and 1 strike. A race for the foul ball. Won by a heck. 0-1 here on Hendrickson in the pitch. He swings another pop-up. This is down the right field line, and that is going to be a foul ball. It stays in play, but that was a long run for first baseman Burdett, the right fielder Farstead, and even second baseman Maxson trying to give it a chance, but none of them could get to it. So the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Leighton Hendrickson. Nassett working from the windup with Powell at third. And the pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Picked up by the catcher. Geetson in his throw. One hop the first baseman. So they'll get the 2-3 put out to retire the side. For the Royals, and runs a hit, and there's 1 left. No, 2-0 Royals as we head to the bottom of the third. Leading things off, Hank Arneson, the shortstop, the top of the order here for the Senators. At the bottom of the third against Bryson Heck, Arneson, Gietzen, and Schobam. And the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 on Arneson. He popped out to third baseman Jack Samuelson back in the first inning. And the 0-1 pitch. Here's a little pop-up in the infield. Pitcher Heck makes the catch just off to the right of the pitcher's mound. Bryson makes the play for out number 1. As he was the only person who was going to get to it. That'll bring up the pitcher Hayden, or the catcher Hayden Gietzen. He was the starting pitcher in game 1. And now on the other side of the battery here in game 2. Heck into the line. And Gietzen swings at the first offering, missed it. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And a right-hander delivers. Swing and a foul at the plate. So Heck quickly out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. I only have Bryson down for 5 balls here in the first 2+ innings. There's a swing and a miss. Gietzen goes down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Bryson. 2 away. So for the third straight inning, he gets the first 2 batters, but still looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Now the Kyle Schlobaum, he walked with 2 out in the first. And a pitch to him. He swings and will fister out towards second. Glove there by Coughlin. The throw to first in time for the out. 4-3 on the putout. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing for the Senators in the third. 3 complete. 2-0 Royals. As we head to the top half of the fourth inning, Royals leading at 2-0. It'll be Schwer, Rolsma, and Proska. 6, 7, 8 batters coming up to face the lefty Sam Nassett. Schwer's first time up, reached on a fielder's choice, and then eventually scored. Takes a pitch inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Nassett's allowed 3 hits in 3 innings. 2 runs, 3 hits. No errors for the Royals. There's a fly ball to left field, and that's going to be caught. And reaching up and making the play, left fielder goes again. That's out number 1. Brings up Parker Rolsum up. Parker singled to left field his first time up. That was an RBI single. And gets the team leadership back with 7 RBI. Again, the Royals 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. For the Senators, no runs, 2 hits. In, and he can't make the play. It drops in front of him as he tried to cover up. It'll be a little blooping single for Rolsama. His second hit of the game, hit number 4 for the Royals. And that'll bring up Luke Proska, the right fielder. Luke walked his first time up. And the left-hander, Nassett, kicks and delivers. Down and in, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the VCBA streaming page. Again, the more subscribers we get, the restrictions continue to fall. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, normally we do games on Game Changer, but the way that the West region has things set up, it'll be difficult for us to do road games on Game Changer, so you'll find a lot of games here on YouTube. There's a line drive down the left field line, and that is a foul ball, just foul down the left field line. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we'll make sure we post on the Post 60 Facebook page where you can find the game each and every night. Tomorrow, you're going to be out of luck unless Del Rapids does video streaming, which I wouldn't be a bit surprised, as big as Legion Baseball is in the state of South Dakota. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Phil's will stream. The runner goes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Grabbed there by the catcher, Gietzen, and with first base occupied, they will say Proska is out. However, Rolsema, he was off with the pitch, so I'm going to give him a stolen base. Proska is out. That is out number 2. And that is strikeout number 1 for Nassett. That'll bring up Bryson Heck. So Rolsema was off with the pitch. He was in the ground, swung on and missed on by Proska. And now Heck takes a pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Sacrifice 5 for Bryson back in the second inning. And the left-hander, Nassett, delivers. Again wide, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And the lefty delivers. Swinging a foul straight back. And the count now 2-1 on Heck. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Valley City leading it 2-0. Left-hander Sam Nassett has gone all the way here for the Senators. And the 2-1 pitch. Inside and low, ball 3. 3-1 to Bryson. If he can extend the inning, we'd go to the top of the order and Trevor Fetch. Two, 3-1 on Bryson, and the pitch on the inside corner, and now the count runs full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rolsema takes his lead off second. And the left-hander delivers. There's a ground ball back at the middle. Nice spear and glove there by Nassett. Then his throw was low and again it's going to get away. Oh, it started off looking nice, but it ended poorly for the lefty as Heck will reach. It'll be a run scored as Rolsema comes in to make it 3-0. And that is going to be an error on the pitcher, Nassett. It was a one-hopper back to him. He gloved it. I don't think he knew where he was, but it was in the webbing of his glove. You can actually see the white. And then he went to throw it, and he threw it low, and it got by the first baseman, Burdette. And so Heck now is at second, 3-0 Royals. First error charged to the Senators in this game. And now Trevor Fetch, he is 0 for 2. Grounded out and flied out. And takes a pitch wide, ball 1. That'll be an unearned run for Nassett. 1 ball, no strikes here to Trevor. And the left-hander, Nassett, working against the left-hander. Fetch delivers. High pop-up right side. It is playable. It's in play, but it's going to bounce in front of the Royals dugout and then into the Royals dugout. A long run there for first baseman Burdette and the catcher Gietzen. And it's count 1 ball, 1 strike on Trevor. Next Wednesday, we'll be back at Charlie Brown Field. The Dickinson Volunteers come to town. And we'll have that game for you. Again, just keep an eye on the Post 60 Facebook page, and we'll tell you where you can find the games. There's a pitch low and away for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike, but talking with Coach Carpenter, I think most West Region games are going to be on YouTube because of the way they configure it. We work through Game Changer, and if the game is not on Game Changer for the teams, then we can't broadcast that way. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Low and away for a ball, 3-1. Game Changer has its benefits. It's got the scoreboard and has some extra features that players can watch clips and highlights of themselves. But, of course, YouTube a little more readily available and easier to find. 3-1 count here on Trevor Petch in the pitch. Low and away, ball 4. So Trevor draws a walk, and for Nassett, that is his second walk. And it brings up Corbin Powell, but not before a conversation on the mound. So again, what they did with the West Region made like a league game changer place, page, if you will. And that's mostly just for coaches. So the home team would track the game on Game Changer, but not on their normal Game Changer page, which means we can't just go to that team's page, click on that schedule, and click on the game and be able to video stream. So that's where you'll find us on YouTube, as long as we play nice and abide the rules. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here, or 2 runners on, pardon me, after the walk to Fetch. Now Corbin Powell. He is bounced out and singled, 1 for 2. On that single to left field, the ball was back into the infield, got away from the cutoff man. He was able to get to second, went to third on a wild pitch. And he takes this one down and in for a ball. So he had a runner at third base and nobody out. Samuelson popped out to short left field by the shortstop. Sikora hit a line drive right at the right fielder for an out. And Powell could not tag on either play, and then Hendrickson struck out to end the inning. 1 ball, no strikes here to Corbin, and the pitch. He'll take it high for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Corbin had an RBI triple in game 1. It was 1 for 3. Scored a couple of times. Swinging a foul at the plate. And the count now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and one on the right-handed hitting Corbin Powell. Nassett, the lefty, delivers. Here's a high pop fly, short center. Arneson, the shortstop, out. Schloboom, the center fielder, in, and Arneson makes the catch. And that will retire the side here in the 4th inning. But the Royals get a run on 1 hit. There was an error, 1 left. 3-0 Royals as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Tristan Schultz will lead things off here for the Senators in the bottom of the fourth. Schultz, Burdette, and Barsness against the right-hander Bryson Heck. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike on Schultz. No balls and one strike. He singled to center field back in the first inning. One of two hits for the Senators. And Heck delivers. Low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals have out-hit the Senators 4-2 in this game after out-hitting them 13-1 in game 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul, just up and over the backstop, and whistles off to our right here from the press box. A ball and 2 strikes on Schultz. And the lights have been on since the beginning of the game because of cloud cover. There's a little pop down the right field line, and Sikora, I think he saw the fence in front of him and kind of pulled up a little bit, and I would have too. And the ball just drops in for a foul ball, 1-2. Well, the lights have been on here. Of course, we had some dark clouds and dark skies for pregame and early part of game 1. There's a swing and a foul back, and the count rides at a ball and 2 strikes. So they pop the lights on, and really we haven't needed them because the sun's brightly shining. Still a few clouds in the sky, but mostly over the ballpark, blue skies. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and the pitch is a ball. 2-2 now the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Schultz. With Barsness and Burdette to follow. Burdette on deck. Barsness in the hole here as the Senators bat in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing 3-0. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul right back to the backstop. If there was not a backstop, that would have come into my window, and I would have been under the table. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Tristan Schultz. Heck delivers, swinging another pop foul, not a play. So Schultz continues to battle with 4 straight foul balls after getting the count even at 2-2. And Heck here delivers. And that just misses outside. Well, now I have 3-2. Scoreboard has 2-2. So we'll wait and see. Either way, this has been a great at-bat for Schultz. Then the pitch. And it was 3-2. There's ball 4. And that is going to be walk number 2 for Bryson. That'll bring up Levi Burdette, the first baseman.
Up next for the Senators,
He is 0 for 1 today. And in the first game, 1 for 2, had the first hit of the game for the Senators in game 1. That came in the 4th. There's a line drive and a base hit into left field. So Burdette with his second hit of the doubleheader, a line single to left. That'll move Schultz to second. That'll bring up Kellen Barsness, the designated hitter, struck out looking his first time up.
up next the DH, Kellen Barsness.
Barsness did not play in game 1. DHing for the pitcher Nassett here in game 2. And the pitch. He lines one to right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Everybody had to kind of hesitate and wait, make sure it wasn't caught. So that'll be station to station, and that'll load him up for Will Maxson. So now the hits are even at 4 apiece. One thing with Bryson, you know he's going to be around the plate. He's going to throw strikes. So if you're an aggressive team, knowing that, you're going to be swinging a lot early in the count, and you're going to have a lot of base hits because he throws a lot of strikes. But then he can get out of those jams by getting his strikeout. Here Maxson takes a strike, 0-1. He's struck out swinging back in the second inning. And the pitch, low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryson has 3 Ks here in this one. They're going along with 2 walks. 1-1 here on Maxson. With Lennon goes again, waiting on deck. In the pitch. Swing and a miss, a little off speed. And Maxson out in front of it. It's a ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 here on Maxson. And the pitch. Low, knocked away. The runner at third thought about it, but Powell quickly pounced on it. And that kept Schultz at third. But bases remaining loaded, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count here on Maxson. A walk and 2 singles have loaded the bases here for the Senators. And Heck delivers. Swing and a foul of the plate. Just got enough of it. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the right-handed hitting Will Maxson. And the pitch. That one just misses inside, so another full count here. Second one of the inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Maxson. Gosgen waiting on deck for the Senators, barring a triple play. And that pitch is in, curve, strike 3. Got him looking. Strikeout number 4, so there goes the triple play scenario. Now Landon Gosgen. He singled to center field his first time up. Bases still loaded and 1 out. Infield back at double play depth. Infield barely even with the bag. There's a strike called, nothing in 1. Sikora is even with the bag. Samuelson maybe a step or 2 behind. And off the line, here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss with the slider, nothing in 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Landon Gosgen. And Heck delivers. Strike 3 called. Well, as I said, he throws strikes, gives up some hits, but then gets himself out of those jams with the K. That is Erstead. Bases loaded, nobody out. So far, nobody has come across the plate. The pitch to Farstead. He'll line it to second. Caught by Chase Coughlin, and that will retire the side. For the Senators, no runs, couple of hits, no errors. They leave 3. It is 3-0 Royals after 4. Well, we have a new pitcher here for the Senators, as Tucker Evans now will come in and pitch. And Nassett's night is done, and Evans now in to pitch. We'll get you Nassett's numbers here, but Jack Samuelson will be the first man that Evans faces and takes a pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So Nassett didn't pitch too poorly in his 4 innings of work. Allen bounces in, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 2. And that pitch misses low and away, and the count now on Samuelson is 3 balls and no strikes. And he also struck out 2 batters. Jack ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes, and Evans delivers. Misses outside, ball 4. So the walk, first one issued by Evans. And it brings up Andrew Sikora. Sikora here in the game tonight. 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch, scored in the second, lined out to the right fielder back in the 3rd inning, and that was the second out. The Royals had the base runner at 3rd base and nobody out and couldn't get Powell in. There's a strike called on Sikora. No balls and 1 strike. A pop out to the shortstop in short left field by Samuelson. Then Sikora's line out to right. And Henderson struck out to end the inning. Here's the pitch. So there's a grounder foul right past the leg of first base coach Matt Betch. Didn't pinch. Did not flinch 1 iota. No balls and 2 strikes on Sikora. Andrews got that front foot right on the white line as he is really taking away that inside part of the plate. He was back a little bit farther with the left-hander, but up closer now with the righty. And there you go. He gets hit by a pitch. So is in that spot. It's going to happen. So he is hit for a second time. Runners at first and second. Brings up Leighton Hendrickson. Leighton 1 for 2. Singled in the second. Struck out in the 3rd. And the ball was dropped by the catcher Geets, and then his throw to first. 1 hop the first baseman Burdette, but he was able to corral it and hold on to it for the out. And the right-hander delivers. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Hendrickson. So again, Nassett, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. No wild pitches. No balks. Here's a line drive, and that's going to be a base hit to right field for Leighton Hendrickson. And they will stop Samuelson at 3rd. So Hendrickson with the line single to right. He's 2 for 3. Hit number 5 for the Royals. And it'll bring up James Schwer. James reaching the fielder's choice. Back in the second, and then in came in to score. And he's flied out to left. 0 for 2 officially. DHing for second baseman Chase Coughlin. Infield up for the Senators. And the pitch to Schwer. He swings the linesman into right center field. This is going to drop in, and that's going to split the gap, and that's going to find its way all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Sikora will score. Hendrickson being waved around 3rd. He's on his way in. It'll be a double for Schwer, and the Royals lead it now 6-0. Bases clearing, 3-run double by James Schwer. He again hit it into that gap in right center field. It got on this turf and took off. And now Parker Rolsma 2 for 2. With a run scored and an RBI, will step in. So the Royals now lead at 6-0. And the pitch to Rolsma. Line drive, base hit left field. Oh, they are picking on Evans here. Schwer will stop at 3rd. A walk, a hit batter, a single, double, single. And now runners at the corners for Luke Proska. And for Schwer, that double, second of the year. And now he has 7 RBIs, so he has got a two-way tie, he and Parker Rolsma, for first in the RBI department. But now Fagerlund is going to come out and have a chat. And he's not even going to chat. He is going to take the ball from his young right-hander. And we've got a pitching change. And coming in from the dugout, and the new pitcher is going to be Cole Reinhardt. So we'll step aside with the Royals leading it now 6-0. We're in the top of the 5th inning with runners at the corners and nobody out. This is American Legion Baseball live on the VCBA streaming page on YouTube. Now Luke Proskett will step to the plate and bat here against the new pitcher, the right-hander Cole Reinhardt. And the first pitch to Luke, in for a strike, 0-1, no balls, 1 strike. Luke walked in the second, struck out in the 4th. Runners at the corners, nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Royals on top, 6-0. And Proska, there's a line drive, base hit left field for Proska. That'll bring Schwer in to score and make it 7-0 on an RBI single by Luke Proska. Down to second base goes Rolsema. And now Bryson Heck, he is 0 for 1, reached on an error back in the 4th. Had a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the 2nd. Royals on top now 7-0. That is the 4th hit of the inning and 8th of the game for Valley City. Time called by Heck. Rolsman, the runner at second, still the responsibility of Evans. And now Reinhardt delivers. Bryson swings and grounds one foul. No balls and 1 strike on Bryson. Right-handed batter, straightaway stance. Completed his first year up in Mayville State, playing football for the Comets. Kicker. And went outside, bounces in, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Also was on the roster during the baseball season, during the spring. Did not travel when they came to Valley City. I don't believe he did anyway for baseball. Here's the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner, and a count, a ball and 2 strikes on Bryson. So I wonder if he and Matt Fetch had a few things to talk about. Matt, also a Mayville State grad. Different head coaches. Of course, he was coached by the great Scott Berry back in the day. Here's the pitch on the way. And that one bounces to the backstop, and that's going to move everybody up 90 feet. Rolsema to third, Proska to second, And the count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bryson. Big chance here to help himself out with 2 runners in scoring position. Royals leading at 7-0. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And the right-hander sets, delivers. Just misses outside. So the count full. First base is open. We got the top of the order, Trevor Fetch, waiting on deck. It's a set by the right-hander. And the pitch. And he takes it high, ball 4. So Bryson will draw the free pass. First walk issued by Reinhardt. That loads him up for Fetch. Trevor's grounded out, flied out, and walked 0 for 2. The righty Reinhardt will face the left-hander Fetch here. And he swings at the first pitch, lofts it down the left field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes the throw back in. And again, runner at third. Rolsma had to wait. But the Proska, who was almost on top of Rolsma when the ball hit. But Parker will come across to score. Proska goes to third. Heck on at second. A looping single by Fetch, picking up the RBI, makes it 8-0 Royals. And now Corbin Powell to the plate, and they bat it around. He's the 9th man to bat in the inning. Infield up all the way around here for the Senators. Reinhardt delivers, and that's low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, so that will now complete the log on Evans, as he allowed the last 6 runs, or 5 runs, pardon me. There's an off-speed pitch, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So he did allow the 6 runs. Here's the pitch. Curve on the inside corner for a strike on Powell, and they count 2 balls and 1 strike. 5 of those runs are going to be earned against Evans. And the pitch. Here's a ground ball to short, and that's going to be off the leg of Arneson. It's going to go out into center field. That's going to score 2. In is Proska. Hecker on third will score. Fetch slides into third. And Valley City now leads it 10-0. That was hit right at the shortstop, Hank Arneson. And probably get at least 1 RBI for Powell on the play. Runners at the corners now. 6 across in the inning, 9-0, or 7 across in the inning. 10-0 Royals. Powell, the runner at first for Jack Samuelson. Flied out, popped out, and walked, and scored a run, and now hit in the back. So he's hit by a pitch. And that will reload him for Andrew Sikora, the top hitter on this club. Andrew tonight in this game walked or hit by a pitch twice, scored both times, sandwiched around a line out in the third. Again, at the time, there was a runner at third base and nobody out. And that was Powell, and the Royals could not get anybody in. Samuelson's pop-up caught by the shortstop in short left field. And again, Sikora hit a frozen rope to right fielder Farstead. So he didn't really have to camp. He just caught the line drive, and then the strikeout ended the inning. Here's the pitch to him. And he'll take it high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Andrew. 3 for 4 in game 1 with a run scored. And guess what? Hit him. 3rd time he is crowding the plate as he has taken away that inside half of the plate, and it's worked to his benefit as he is hit for a 3rd time. A painful RBI brings Fetch in to make it 11-0. Down to second base goes Samuelson. To third goes Powell. And now Leighton Hendrickson. He is 2 for 3. Scored a run. Struck out in the 3rd. Hit in the 2nd. Hit in the 5th. As This is it. There's a line drive. That's a fair ball down the left field line, and that's going to plate at least two. Here's one run in. Sam's around third. He's going to score. Sikora will stop at third. It'll be a two-run double for Hendrickson, and the Royals now lead it 12-0 or 13-0. A two-run double for Layton. Samuelson easily scores from second. Powell comes trotting in from third. And now runners at second and third, and gang, there's still nobody out. All this is with nobody out. 10 runs across an inning, 13-0 Royals. And now James Schwer. James takes the first pitch. On the outside part of the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. James fielder's choice, flied out, and a 3-run double earlier this inning. Here's the pitch. Up and in, backs him out of the way, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Everybody in the starting lineup has scored. Samuelson, Sikora, and Schwer, and Rolfsma have each scored twice. There's one in the backstop. That's going to go to the one in the ground that goes to the backstop. So the wild pitch brings Sikora in. Down to third base goes Hendrickson. And so the Royals get the extra point. They now lead at 14-0. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes on Schwer, with Rolfsma waiting on deck. Right-hander sets, delivers. There's a line drive, base hit, right center field by Schwer. And he'll pick up his 4th RBI, takes the big turn and hangs on. About the same spot he had his double earlier in the inning. And now Parker Rolfsma to the plate. And now Schwer leads the team in RBI with 8. Rolfsma, he is now along with the 7 is right behind him. But Parker's 3 for 3 with an RBI, couple of runs scored here in the game. And we'll step in here with Schwer first, and the pitch spins him out of the way. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Still nobody out here as the Royals bat in the top of the 5th inning. Sent by the right-hander Reinhardt in the pitch. And that one bounces in and goes to the left of the catcher Gietzen, and that will move Schwer over to second on the wild pitch. Everybody in the starting lineup has scored at least once this inning. Just this inning alone. Wilson was the 14th Royal to bat here in the 5th. And the pitch. Misses low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0. 3-0 the count on Parker. Steps out of the box. Gather himself. Proska waiting on deck. And now Rolfsma steps back in. Trying to keep his perfect evening going. 3 for 3 with a couple of runs scored this game. Here's the pitch. And that one misses, ball 4. And the ball got away from the catcher again, and the wild pitch will move Schwer down to third base. And now Proska to the plate. And I think we're going to have some pinch hitters coming up as Chase Carpenter is going to run from the third base coaching box, and he's going to start lining up some pinch hitters, I think. You got a roster of 17. You've got that luxury. So runners at the corners. Looks like Cole Bollinger is going to be the first. There's a strike called. No balls and 1 strike. And the right-hander, Reinhardt, delivers. Strike call, 0-2. I think Proska was told just take a couple of pitches here when we get some pinch hitters lined up here. No coaches in the coaching box. They're both standing in front of the dugout chatting. I don't think they really need to coach right now. There's a swing and a foul at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on Proska, and actually now Matt Petch is going to go and take over third. As Chase Carpenter gets all of his pinch hitters lined up. Matt will handle things at third base. And the pitch to Proska. It is high. A ball and 2 strikes on Luke. Actually, Brody Mueller's in the on-deck circle. So he will pinch hit for Heck. And more than likely, Bryson will come back in and pitch the bottom of the 5th. More than likely. We never know. And we got a hit batter as hit by pitch is Proska. And that will keep the bases loaded, and that's going to bring head coach Fagerling again out of the third base dugout, and I believe he has got the hook with him because following him out of the dugout, and it does look like we have Barsness, who's DHing right now, is going to come in and do the pitching, so they'll lose that DH role, and Barsness will pinch hit or come in to pitch. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Royals, with the bases loaded, still nobody out. And they lead it 15-0. We're back with more Royal Baseball Live on YouTube. So pinch hitter Brody Mueller will step to the plate here with the bases loaded. And still nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. Royals on top 15-0 with a 12 spot here in the inning. And that pitch misses inside. Ball 1 on Mueller. Heck, while he was in there, was 0 for 2. Actually 0 for 1. Had a sac fly, RBI. Walked, scored a run, also reached on an error. And Barsness delivers again inside at the belt. 2 balls and no strikes on Mueller. And Brody making his, having his first plate appearance of the year. There's a swing and a foul at the plate, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cole Bollinger waiting on deck. He'll get a chance to swing. Barring again the triple play. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Again, he jackknife out of the way. 3 balls and no strikes. And if we do get to the number 2 spot in the order, the Corbin Powell's spot, I think brother Ty Cordy is going to pinch hit for him. It's kind of neat. Brother pinch hitting for brother. Here's the kick of the pitch. Ball 4. So Mueller will draw the free pass. He'll pick up his first RBI of the year. Coming across the score will be Leighton Hendrickson. Down to third is Rolsema. Down to second base goes Praska. And now Cole Bollinger to the plate. Cole 0 for 1 batting so far. And that one is low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. He is batting for Fetch. Trevor 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. And that hit, run, and RBI came earlier this inning. Here's a chop foul down the third base line. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one the count on Cole Bollinger with nobody out. And the base is still loaded here for the Royals. Here's the pitch. And takes a strike all the way, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cole. Ty Cordy will pinch hit. As the Royals, it looks like they're going to bat around twice here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. That is low. And the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On number 16, Cole Bollinger. Right-handed batter. And here's Barsness' pitch. High. So the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield has been up all the way around. Runners lead from every base. And Barsness, payoff pitch, hits him. So Bollinger's hit by a pitch. That'll pick up the RBI as Rolsema comes across to score. Praska goes to third. Mueller goes to second. And now Ty Cordy will get a chance to bat here. Pinch hitting for Corbin Powell. Corbin 1 for 4, RBI and a run scored this inning. Well, you look back on that error. Oh, that would have changed things. There's a swing and a fister. Grabbed there by the shortstop. Barsness to throw, or Arneson, and he throws home, gets the out. So they'll get Praska 6-2 on the force. Mueller goes to third. Down to second base goes Bollinger. Cordy is on the fielder's choice. And now, I do believe we have, of course, we have another pinch hitter. Lane Jorson is in the on-deck circle right now. And did not catch. Oh, it's Joey Mayhews is now pinch hitting. So Joey Mayhews, who pitched in last night's game. He is pinch hitting for Samuelson. Jack 0 for 2. There's a swing and a miss. Walked and hit by pitches last 2 times up. So the count 1 ball, 1 strike here on Joey Mayhews. And the pitch. Curve right over the top of the head. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a right-hander. Barsness comes to the set, and the 2-1 pitch. Inside and low, ball 3. 3-1 on Mayhews. Lane Jorson waiting on deck. And the right-hander ready to work. Barsness sets, delivers. Low, ball 4. So a walk to Mayhews. Picks up the RBI. Coming in to score is Mueller. Down to third base is Bollinger. Cordy to second. And now Lane Jorson batting for Socorro. As the parade of pinch hitters continues. And Barsness delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Infield, the middle infield back a double play depth with 1 out. Corners are even with the bag, maybe up a little bit. Hudson Crewald on deck, and he would continue the pinch hit parade. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Low and away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Jorison. The right-handed batter waves that bat over the back shoulder. And the 1-1 pitch. Swings and fouls it back, 1-2. I think Hudson Crewald, who's on deck, he will get a chance to bat here. Chase Coughlin's been DH for, so he might bat. There's a hit batter as Jorison is hit by a pitch. That'll move Mayhew to second, and it's also an RBI for Jorison. As Bollinger comes across. And Cordy goes to third, so Cordy's the runner at third. Runner at second. Mayhew's, Jorison at first, and now Hudson Crewald to the plate. Batting for Leighton Hendrickson. There's a swing and a miss. Leighton had a 2-run double earlier this inning, also singled. He is 3 for 4 in the game with a couple of runs scored. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Chase Coughlin will bat for himself. He was being DH for by Schwer, but he will bat for himself. He is in the on-deck circle. There is 1 out here in the 5th. And the pitch. Misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the right-hander, Barsness, just trying to get out of this inning. Delivers. There's a line drive, and into center field, a base hit by Crewald. And that will be station to station as Mayhews will stop at third. Cordy comes across to score to make it 20-0. Down to second base goes Jorison. So an RBI for Hudson Crewald. And now Chase Coughlin will bat. Coughlin was being pitched hit for by Schwer, so he will bat here with the bases still loaded and 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Oh, and 1. And the pitch. There's a strike called. And the count now on Coughlin, no balls and 2 strikes. Adam Shenenko is who DH'd in game 1. The only Royal does not batted here. Here's a ground ball to third. Glove there at third to throw home, and 1 hops the catcher. Geetson can't come up with it cleanly. So everybody's safe. A low throw by the third baseman, Schultz. And that's going to be an error on Schultz. Fielder's choice for Coughlin, and coming in to score on the error is Mayhews. Down to third base goes Jorison. Crewald to second. And now Parker Olsema. 3 for 3 with a walk. He has scored 3 times tonight. He's got an RBI. And he fists this one back to the pitcher. Barsness grabs it. Jump throw to first for the out. Went off the heel of his glove, and he just throws to first to get Olsema 1-3 on the put out. Second out of the inning. Down to second goes Coughlin. Down to third goes Crewald. And coming in to score is Jorison. So the RBI. Second one of the game for Olsema. He now has 9 and retakes the team leadership. And now Proska to the plate. And a pitch to Luke. Swing and a miss. 0-1. 22-0. Royals leading it. They've got 19 runs here in the 5th inning. And the right-hander Barsness delivers. Up and in. Buzzes by the ear. Count 1-1 on Proska. Proska, the 23rd batter to bat this inning. Here's the pitch. And make it 24 as he is going to be hit in the back. So that'll reload the bases And Mueller will get a second at-bat. He walked with the bases loaded earlier this inning. And so he will come to the plate. Let Spencer bat. See if Spencer pitch. Give him a bat. Let's see if he can, what he can do here. Oh, I know you can't, but he probably's asked. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. He's asked. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball hit into center. Schloboom over into right center. He's there. He makes a cap-eye catch, and that will retire the side. So the Royals get a bunch of runs. We'll tell you about it when we come back. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Royals leading it. This is American Legion Baseball on YouTube. Hank Arneson, the top of the order, will lead things off as everybody that was pinch hit for re-enters here in the fifth. There's a swing and a miss by Arneson from Bryson Heck. 0-1. He has popped out to the third baseman and to the pitcher. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball right side. Coughlin, the right second baseman, has it. Flips to first for the out. 4-3 on the putout, one away. And that will bring to the plate. The catcher, Gietzen, is due up, and he is going to come up. Hayden, he is out one unassisted and also has struck out 0-2. Here's the pitch. In for a strike, 0-1. And here's a swing and a miss, unless they hit their way on. That's don't walk anybody. 0-2 the count on Gietzen. And Bryson is just rearing back and throwing him over the strike zone. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. That will be strikeout number 6 for Bryson. 2 away. And that will bring up the center fielder, Kyle Schloboom. He is walked and grounded out. And he will step in here with 2 out, nobody on. The bottom of the fifth, Royals on top, 22-0. There's a swing and a miss, as they scored 19 runs that half inning on 8 hits, couple of errors, 3 runners left on base. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And at the knees for a strike, 0-2. No balls in line all the way down. So the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And 3 down, and that'll retire the side. And your final, as the Royals win it in a shutout by a final of 22-0, right at 9 o'clock. So an hour and 38 minutes for that one. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap things up here from the Sanford Sports Complex. This is American Legion Baseball live on YouTube. Well, they're not going to play music. I'm going to do a quick recap here. There's the Royals in this one, 22 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They leave 7. And for Bismarck, no runs, 3 hits, 3 errors. They leave 6 on. And Bryson Eck will pick up the win. 5 shutout innings, 3 hits, couple of walks, 7 strikeouts. He's now 2-0 on the year. And Nassett will take the loss. He went the first 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, couple of runs, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Both runs were earned. Evans did not let it get an out as he gave up 3 hits, 6 runs, and 5 hits. Or 6 runs and 5 of those were earned. And then Barsness came in, and Barsness lasted just a... he did get a couple of outs, I do believe. If I look at this, Barsness did get 1 out. He got a third of an inning, and then the last 2 outs. Reinhardt actually went a third of an inning. Then Barsness got the last 2 outs here for the Senators. As they win it, as the Royals win it tonight, 22-12. They're now 2-0 in the West region and 4-4 on the year with the win here tonight. Again, next up for Valley City, they'll be on the road as they head to Omaha for this kind of a team bonding trip this weekend. They'll take on the Del Rapids Phils tomorrow, and we will not have that game for you out in Del Rapids, South Dakota. But then we'll be back home against the Dickinson Volunteers next Wednesday for the doubleheader in the West region, 5:30 with that first pitch, pregame at 5:15. And again, that game here on YouTube on the VCBA streaming channel. So the Royals pick up a couple of 5-inning wins tonight, 12-1 and 22-0, as they got the bats going tonight against the Senators and get back to 500 at 4-4 and are 2-0 in the West region. So until we are back next Wednesday against the Dickinson Volunteers, Paul McDonald is saying thanks for joining us here tonight on YouTube, on our VCBA streaming YouTube page. Again, like and subscribe to us, and we will have more ball games here on YouTube, if not on Game Changer, but expect probably the bulk of our games right here on YouTube throughout the summer. Final scores, again, 12-1 in 5 innings in Game 1, 22-0 in 5 innings in Game 2 as the Royals pick up the sweep here tonight in the capital city. Until next time, Bob McDonald saying thanks for joining us, and so long from the Sanford Sports Complex in Bismarck.